Hello, everybody. We are once again back for Fullmetal Alchemist. I have the exact same guests as last time. Because it's a bit of a bad day to record due to being Good Friday as we're recording this, Hana's not here. But yeah, we're here to talk about the third season or part of Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. I guess do we need to introduce you two? Because you were literally here last time. I guess if you want.
Um, I guess I'm Luke Zweiwalker. I'm here to talk about Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood instead of Star Wars because that's the other thing I like.
But I thought it was
And
Star Wars.
yeah, it is Star Wars kind of. Everything is Star Wars except Star Wars, which is Gundam.
This is a fact.
And then there's
Yeah.
Wes. He
Oh yeah,
exists, I
hey.
suppose.
I'm also here to talk about Fullmetal Alchemist and Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where do we want to start then?
Probably the first episode of
Yeah.
the season we're doing.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess maybe not actually. I forgot. Yeah, we're doing a part 3, the first episode of which is Interlude Party, which is kind of nothing. It's a sitcom clip show, which is very funny.
It is,
Um,
it is
like
interesting that they have one
conceptually,
of
but
those.
yeah. Not really a lot to say. It's Hohenheim gets drunk and rewatches a highlight reel of the show.
Yeah, and I guess they use it to deliver some character work, I suppose. They just have some
Yeah,
takes
there's
on
some.
his perspective on humanity, I suppose. And since since this is pre the reveals from the next episode, this is probably the show squeezing the last few drops out of this mystery of is Hohenheim
Yeah,
evil or some shit or something.
I was gonna. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry. I was
no,
gonna say,
that's
it is uh more interesting on a rewatch, kind of, when you have the context of like Dwarf in the Flask and stuff. To look at this with, because otherwise it's
Oh, I do.
it's just kind of some
I actually,
incoherent context around a clip show. But
I
yeah,
actually do
it's
have
yeah.
some one thing I do want to talk about. This is kind of like the episode where like it's revealed that Hohenheim's immortal. I'm pretty sure due to like Trisha being there, child Trisha, which like honestly kind of weird. But
It's also like a dream sequence though, which is why I couldn't really make sense of it.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just his
So
it's
like
his whole thing. Just it is it's I like that it has this I guess very nuanced perspective on humanity, which is
Yeah.
cool to see fiction have when they talk about all of the flaws of humans and how we kind of stumble about all the time, but still come out as a like on a hopeful note, which is something I appreciate more than I guess just humanity fuck yeah hoo ha hope slop stuff where
Hope
you
flop.
don't where you don't actually engage with the um, criticisms you can throw at humanity and just like plug your ears and go la 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 I can't hear you or some shit.
Hmm.
Yeah, but that's kind of the extent of
Yeah.
what the episode is. The imagery in the non recap portions can be kind of cool, like a bit creepy, like the face ripping off thing, for example. But yeah, it's
speaking of
nothing
creepy, so like
much.
I'm very much wondering what the implication is there. So like did Hohenheim just meet Trisha when she was a child then? That's
Yeah,
weird
I
if so.
I honestly completely forgot that you had
Yeah, I wanted to
forgot that until you mentioned it. Yeah,
yeah,
unfortunate.
I
that's
It's
odd
I guess
if
it's
so.
cool that, I mean, keeping with the bit of Full Metal Alchemist being Star Wars, it's so cool they included Kip Duran.
um,
Yeah. I think that that's not supposed to be taken literally.
I hope not.
But yeah, but that's kind of I mean, we do get there's a lot of I guess very metaphorical weird dream stuff in there. So yeah, it's probably just kind of to be taken in that vein. Yeah. Episode recap. When I watched the episode recap, I noticed that just like getting a highlight reel of the show as of now, I really did just once again realize, man, I really like this this story a lot. Actually, it is it's very cool that I've been pushed to really watch and reread this in like this this year now because that's I haven't done that in a while, and it's actually a very cool and important story for me. And even just like seeing some scenes in a recap is making me go, yeah, wow, this is so cool. I like this. This has themes and such.
I will say it's a bit odd for the pacing of the show, and like, ideally,
Absolutely, I don't know why they did that.
ideally they could
Yeah.
have used that episode for, I don't know, the Ishvalk stuff that they cut, but
Yeah, holy shit. But
we'll get there when we get there. Yeah, but
about that shit later. Yeah,
we have a bit to talk about with that, or
yeah.
Wes and Zwei do, because I forgot to read it. But
There, there is how much I don't know. There's very little like actual new stuff in this episode, and because most of it is clip recap, so you could
Did they just have like
probably
the contractual obligation to have however many episodes and they wanted to save budget?
yeah, I don't know, because it's you can. I'm pretty sure you could just make the crux of this episode work in another episode. You could just have this
oh,
happen and
also,
intercut it with other stuff, I guess.
they
Probably.
also could have used that episode slot, to do the chapter 3, was it? Yeah, the mining town
Oh, yeah.
stuff.
Mining Town.
They could
Yeah.
have.
Oh, oh yeah, but there's man,
Bit of a
I,
waste.
there's stuff about all of that. Yeah, but especially the first few
Yeah.
minor arcs probably just got
It's funny how it's kind of a crap start to probably my favorite like segment of the show.
I wouldn't
yeah
say
that
crap start, but like there are a
Yeah.
few problems there.
I mean, it's
it's like
weak
it's
A
it
little
compared to
is
the
bit.
rest of it,
it
certainly.
is
A little
it
bit.
is it is kind of a nothing bratwurst, as we say here, and and
Oh wait, you mean? Oh, I thought you meant like are you talking about like this season specifically?
no I
With the no,
the
with what Wes said with the crap
Oh
start.
no, yeah, no, I meant like the first episode of this part.
Oh, okay. I thought you
Like
yeah
meant
yeah
the
like the overall series.
no
Okay. Yeah, in
this
that case,
this
I agree.
part
Yeah,
of
I
the
agree. I
show
agree.
I think unless
is
we had
like
to
everything
scrap it because we
bratwurst, I
recorded
guess.
every episode like six or mostly just episode 2 like 6 times. I like the first episode of Brotherhood a lot. I meant the clip show one is like
Yeah.
a
Okay.
weak
Okay.
start to part 3.
Yeah,
Full
it
Metal
is a very
Crusaders.
it is a very I made 3 notes about that, and they are very short, and the next one I see is just like several paragraphs of interesting stuff I noticed. Um yeah. And I think we should just probably go to episode 28 now, if there's nothing else to add here.
Yeah. Let's go for it then for the episodes that actually matter.
The real episodes.
Yeah, yeah, some like actual episodes now. Um and it is right off the bat, it is a really, really effective way of showing how threatening father is supposed to be. He just kind of like he doesn't need to move to transmute. There's no thinning of material, creating matter from seemingly nothing. And Ling is shaking and freaking the hell out. And he's just kind of completely unbothered, talking to
Yeah.
them, checking for
It's
any like wounds or something.
I
This is
really do
basically
love
supposed to be a
the just
god.
sort of mechanics of this show, and like the power system is so fun in a way where like even though we find like interesting and like completely natural sounding explanations for everything going on in this scene later, it just feels like he is a completely unstoppable like god basically.
Yeah, and father is in general is just I love his complete aesthetic, like the design for this
Hmm.
character, having him in this white robe and the throne,
He's
the
wearing
whole
Yuzon Vong medical rags.
Oh, I
the
also
whole
there's like one
the
thing I want
whole
to comment with on his design. I do like that he looks
yes.
paler than Hohenheim as like a way of like
Yeah,
saying like, oh yeah, he's not human. Like both his
he's
like his skin and his hair as well. It's
Hmm.
and
like
he's
it's all artificial. I do really like that design touch.
and he's I guess he would also not have been around outside for much. Like he's just sitting down in his father cave preparing, and
In his father cave.
yeah, and while Hohenheim actually goes around doing stuff, and if you do that for a few centuries, you probably aren't gonna get a tan. So that's a cool. I don't know if
Hmm.
that's what that was the intention, but yeah, definitely you can see the subtle differences. And yeah, the is Hohenheim evil or something mystery finally gets like a conclusive answer, more or less, and they really could not have kept this going for much longer without contriving it so hard.
Hmm.
That's this bit really died as far on the rails as it could possibly go.
Yeah. The reveal that actually there's just two of him. Don't worry about or do worry about it, but in a different way.
Yeah, I liked how unceremonious it is. Like they go,
Hmm.
what the fuck is that?
They do
Is that
like a
father?
Family Guy cutaway gag to other Hohenheim later on just to show you.
Yeah, they them going, yeah, what the fuck, Hohenheim, is that you? And then immediately going, no, wait, that's not him actually. No, no big mystery reveal there. It's very it is very just matter of factly. Yeah.
But yeah. We also get the start of like one of the most fun kind of sub arcs in this series, which is uh Ling getting the Philosopher's Stone put into him. Uh,
Yes.
where because you know a bit back, like beginning of season part two, I think. Father ate greed again, and he decides that it's useful to have like another pawn on the board. So he puts that, and then we get like the very fun kind of arc of the them basically working out a deal for who gets to control the body at what times.
Yeah.
As the series goes on,
I
they're
actually do
great.
Yeah.
enjoy how like Greed was like just completely expecting Ling to just like give in just completely, and then like when he doesn't, he's just genuinely just surprised, like, wait, what, really?
Yeah.
And yeah, and it a great thing about that scene also for me is that father opening a third eye on his forehead to secrete greed stone. Not just is that cool like imagery in body horror terms, it's also adding to this sage-like aesthetic that he has going on, and kind of seems to wants to have going on, like opening a third eye and stuff. Just it's a cool little touch, I guess, of character design and characterization.
Yeah.
And
sorry.
greed. So while we're talking about greed and him giving up his greed stone and putting it into Ling, I wondered when watching this how the homunculi function in relation to father's personality, because
Right.
characters seem to say that they are his sins. He's saying like taking on my greed or my wrath or something.
Mhm.
But creating pride and greed didn't make the guy humble or frugal. So
Yeah.
so I was wondering, either they are simply born out of his like sinful thoughts and feelings, and um, through that exist, but they do not take away or diminish him or like the original feelings in any way, in
I
any
th-
meaningful way at least. Or
um
maybe the other theory I would have is that they they are like made up of like um, the souls of people that's particularly
Right.
in that direction, maybe.
I mean, like, that is directly shown with Pride, so like I think that is a good possibility. I
I
think
do
I'm
think
pretty sure the
though.
show like later
Sorry,
kind of
ahead
dwells
a
on
bit.
this a bit, where like I think it was Hohenheim who said this, where like that like they were supposed to be just the aspects of father's sins like that taken away from him, but they weren't really like
Well, sorry. So I was gonna say there's a bit later on, skipping ahead for both points here, but there's a bit in I think part 5 where Hohenheim is basically saying that like he's sort of lobotomized himself this way, and like while he certainly does still have all of these flaws, they're in far more toned down ways. If you just compare the personality he has in the flashbacks in Dwarf in the Flask
oh yeah, okay.
to how he is in the present,
Yeah, that
like
makes
I
sense.
don't think that it removes any sense of pride or greed. Obviously, he hasn't removed all sin from him. Look at what he's doing. But I do think it kind of tones him down and makes him more robotic about it. Like maybe he has the same drives, but it isn't expressed to the same extent.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what it was, right?
or like he doesn't have like his shit-eating grin that he used to have as a homunculus
Dwarf in the
before getting his
Flask.
new body. Yeah. Um,
All right,
Yeah, yeah,
that's
okay,
definitely
that
something
makes
to
sense. Yeah.
consider,
yeah.
and it's
And I think it kind of it makes him a bit more of like a shell of that same character.
yeah, it is. It's definitely a possibility. Yeah, it's hmm. Maybe I wonder if the bit where he's thinking of, wait, no, I think that happens after that. Oh no, then that's not really a factor. So yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's probably taking stuff from his
Yeah. I
personality.
guess
Yes.
one thing, one like wrinkle in that is like, although we don't see him much, but he doesn't seem to change in any meaningful way when he reabsorbs greed. You would think that would maybe like he'd play up a bit of that personality, but again, maybe it's just sort of like you play around with your soul as much as he has. There's not much left for those changes to be noticeable, I guess. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I mean, you could say perhaps that he isolated the stone or something and isn't.
Yeah, he's
But
storing it in that little forehead pocket.
yeah, but yeah, maybe that could have been shown a bit more, but yeah, what can you do?
Alas, what can one say?
Yeah. um. Yeah. Oh. Um. Another thing about Greed and Ling. That's really cool and a part of this episode is that the show has a theme it's playing with here and even more down the line, obviously, um, in future episodes. And I'd say you can probably find a lot of instances of similar stuff happening already for like the first half of the show, is turning vices into a virtue in a
Mhm.
way. It's like Ling being an incredibly greedy, ambitious person in the sense that he desires power above all else, basically,
Yeah,
but he doesn't desire it for his own sake or for like
he's
self-aggrandizing
doing the
reasons.
Roy Mustang gambit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he he uh, he wants power to protect as
Mhm.
many people as he can. That's the that's a cool
Yeah.
cool theme the show is playing with, and I'm a big fan of stuff like that.
Mace
It's
Windu speaks of this in The Glass Abyss, of course.
true,
There's the bit
and
of him talking about like it's not that you should like try and completely remove anger or fear from yourself. It's that you shouldn't let that like dominate you, and it should only like be an indicator of something being wrong that you should take a good action against.
yeah,
And
another
that's kind of the way that FMA plays with the sins, like uh, greed being like the most obvious example of this, where like
yeah.
uh, oh sorry, you go ahead. You were already saying this.
Um, yeah, it's a cool cool thing that creates some like moral complexity or like I guess texture is the word I would use right now. Another deep cut in another direction is that that reminds me of is that Terry Pratchett has done something like that in one of his books where there's like a speech about witches having to be selfish, and then the idea is then be selfish in the way where you just take in everything and go, yeah, this is my friends, my town, my people, my world. How dare you mess with it? And that's kind of what Ling is doing. He's greedy. He desires being emperor of a giant country and going, and I will protect them all.
This is just like the Embrace of Pain prologue in Traitor.
True.
It's doing the same idea. The like yeah, pain is bad and that's why it's useful. It's the suffering in the engine of or suffering is the engine and the fuel of or the fuel in the engine of civilization. Jesus, stumbled over my
Yeah,
words there.
yeah, like yeah, I would just yeah, it's moral complexity in a in an interesting way that's not not
Hmm.
just a often moral complexity is what people say about that is often just comes down to utilitarianism or something, um, or like pragmatism or whatever. And I believe that the the concept of yeah, these things that are usually bad can be turned into productive forces is just a kind of very nice
Hmm.
thing
Yeah.
to write about. It's cool.
Generally, I really like how it handles the sins of like they don't feel like a caricature built around the specific idea they represent. It's fun how they're all sort of like they're all ironic in some sense, like the most obvious ones being all of their deaths have some twist to it, to that end. But like even just like in their personalities and stuff of like, I think we spoke about it last time, of course, wrath, while you might expect like a sort of hot anger represented by red eyes, he has a sort of cold anger represented by blue eyes. Or like the fact that like Pride, while being very full of himself, is also kind of the most willing to give up things he says he holds dear for immediate benefit.
Yeah, and we'll get to Slov's deal, not just in this part, but also they going further with with what his deal is in future episodes, which is great. It's yeah, and yeah, I mean the twist on Greed in general, that being kind of the most virtuous of the bunch for some reason, because
Yeah.
because Greed enables him to make connections, I guess.
Mhm.
His greed, if he if he puts his eyes on like friendships or something, then he is the most he can easily form the most meaningful connection among people. He has like the best starting conditions for that, I suppose, which makes him the character that we know and love, and it's his development over the next few parts. The next two parts will be very fun to talk about.
Yeah. Do you want to just because I feel like this, and I'm good with this. I'd actually like to keep it this way. We're doing less of a kind of recap, and we're just latching on to bits from the episodes to talk about ideas over this part. And I'd kind of like to keep that. But
Yeah.
since we're retaining some of the structure, do you want to kind of move on to episode 2 and or episode 3 rather, and
There
see if
are
there's
a
any?
couple more things to
Okay,
talk about.
okay.
There's like a new like world building mechanic introduced, and Scar does find out that Envy was the one who
Yeah.
started the Ishvalan War.
Yeah,
And like in turn
that's
with that
true.
world building mechanic, it says a little bit about Father's character as well. Like
Um,
his ability to stop like a Mestrian alchemy just completely, and how he doesn't usually use it because he views like humans as insects, and he only really uses it like if he gets like bored.
Yeah.
yeah, and yeah, that's definitely important to talk about. Father turns off alchemy in the room is what we know at first. After that, we get to know that it was at least all of Central City,
Hmm.
and the
Maybe
thing,
Keystone too.
yeah, and the thing that's kind of surprises him then is that Scar and May, who appear there, um, can actually use their alchemy because they use archahestry, and he doesn't know
Hmm.
why that happens, and is kind of curious about that.
Hmm.
Um,
Father may have brought a Salamiri, but Vong sense cuts around that, you
I
know?
do wonder
it's true.
if that affected Hohenheim at all, because like it does show he did feel it, but like since he was the one who taught the was it Shingi's
I'm sure
people?
he could get around it,
Yeah,
considering,
like
yeah,
he was the
he
one
helped develop
who
Alchemistry.
invented. Yeah, I think
The
like it's
Jingis?
possible he
And
could get
there,
around
there's
that.
there's probably like I guess the Philosopher's Stones are mostly only talked about bypassing equivalent exchange, but I'm sure you can just like also bypass the tectonic energy bit
Hmm.
with that if you have
Yeah,
maybe
because, I mean,
use up
the way it
more.
bypasses equivalent exchange is it's using the energy of souls instead of the energy of the Earth's power, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
So, it probably gets around it.
yeah, and the energy of I guess the potential energy of material or whatever you would call that. Um,
Hmm.
and which means that souls have like soul energy in this universe is enormous compared to like mass
Yeah.
energy or whatever. But
Scales far higher, at least like, small island level striking strength.
I'm pretty sure like souls are also what like powered alchemy in the 2003 series.
yes, yeah. that brings back memories. I was fucking dumbfounded by that, but because when you watched 2003 at first, and you get like the reveal that uh, the exchange is not actually equivalent because you will need to get the energy from somewhere, and that energy is fucking souls or something. And then and then Fullmetal Alchemist in the manga and anime is like, yeah, so we use plate tectonics, which is so deliciously mundane in comparison. But
Yeah, and I guess the
yeah.
other big thing worth mentioning, because it's a catalyst for like the main thing we'll probably be talking about from this part, is there's the bit where with their alchemy not working, Ed tries to use his secret secondary tool, a gun, and hesitates because he doesn't like murder or to kill people for fun. Um,
Yeah, and especially because Envy is a little shit who puts a crying face in front of him.
yeah. Ed is canonically defeated by the power of like showing him a soy jack.
um, yeah, and so but the um the ending point of the episode is Scar's running off. May is hurt, and Al puts her in his armor to get her to a doctor, and they get escorted higher up to get a debriefing because they have messed around too much, and now like we need to have a
Yeah.
talk.
Yeah, Bradley
And
calls him into the office and goes like, "All right, status quo over."
yeah,
Like,
uh,
we're gonna drop the bit where we pretend we don't know what's going on.
yeah, and interesting and important bit also gluttony. Gluttony is close to actually dying because he died too much. Scar murdered him a bit too hard, and Gluttony has been getting a lot of punishment throughout these. He has been blown up. He has been uh, He's been scarred a lot, shot
Unintended.
a lot, fired out of a tower like a rocket or something. And now he doesn't have any more regenerative abilities. Um,
Hmm.
and in the post-credit scene, Father says that he will. Father rips out the stone that makes up his essence, and then says that he will recreate him with all the memories he has, which is good foreshadowing because Greed, our current Greed, does not remember anything from before,
Hmm.
and appears to be a different Greed. But this shows that maybe there's that's not exactly how this is how this works, and there's options here. But yeah, that's plot part. Now the teacher's office, or principal's office, more like. Um,
Never in all my years as Führer have I seen a girl so poorly behaved.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They have this talk where Ed, Al, and Mustang talk to the Führer, and he's just going, yeah, guys, we are not doing this shit no more. You will fall in line, you will behave, or I am going to kill your girlfriend. And he says that to both Mustang and Ed. Which, yeah, very, very harrowing stuff, because, you know, the guy means it, and it is. I really like how trapped they feel in this part of the show. It is very very tense a lot of the time. And yeah, oh yeah, Bradley also stabs Al again, but
Just to
since May's,
check.
yeah, just check. But since May is very short, she does not get
Well,
skewered.
it would have also worked for hiding Ed, obviously.
True. And some of my notes. I didn't know. I don't know if I've spoken about this last time, but I find it interesting that Al's body could communicate to Ed independently despite lacking a soul.
Mhm.
Which is just an interesting question of how that exactly works. If it's
I thought it's just kind of truth fucking with him, because truth is also partly you, so it's like the Al aspect of truth, you know?
that is a possible theory. Yes, that's I thought, yeah, maybe that's just kind of truth. And
Also because when Al goes into that body after sacrificing himself, you see like opposite him is truth with Ed's arm and leg.
yeah, yeah, that's definitely a strong possibility, and it's probably, yeah, because the all is one and thing.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
yeah,
the
that could very well
universe
be like the
and truth and also you, or whatever the full monologue is.
yeah, that's definitely. I would say that this is just kind of truth doing
He's doing
doing
a bit.
yeah, not even, but like truth just it is just truth in yeah, what you said,
Yeah.
the part of truth that is L is saying this basically. um
Mhm.
and yeah, I just like thinking about these things. Uh what else is there to talk about in this episode? I thought it was very cute of Mustang getting suddenly all worried and rushing out to look after Hawkeye.
Cool.
Um, and it's
Seeing that
also
she's been replaced by a like 8 foot tall jacked guy.
yeah.
Sorry, I do have to. We should hurry up with this because we're already like 38 minutes in. Thank you, Zwei.
Sure.
uh,
um, yeah, but
yeah.
like, I don't want to. I don't have like all day to do this. It is Good Friday, so let's like try to keep on task a little bit.
Yeah. My next note from this episode is the last one for the episode, and it's seeing that gun at the end made me hyped as hell for the next episode. The next episode, holy shit! This is um right off the bat, first scene of the episode. Uh, I don't exactly get why they changed the scene to be Hawkeye in his bed instead of at his desk, but that's neither here nor there. Um, and yeah, Hawkeye, Mr. Hawkeye talking to a young Roy, saying, talking about the nature of alchemists and how dangerous flame alchemy is, and how someone who is making himself a dog of the military.
This is the alchemy that fucking kills you. Promise me you will only use it for good.
Yeah, and he croaks, and the last few words he says to him is to look after his daughter. And yeah, seeing Mustang and Hawkeye at the grave and their youthful idealism about
Mhm.
trying to make the world a better place and having like a good future and whatever is very that hurts. That really
Yeah.
hurts.
One thing I'll say that I really like, to skip ahead a bit because I don't respect time, um, is like I like that even by the end of this where you have like the bit of him and Hughes talking about how they need to destroy this country, um, even when it's like buried in like a lot more of a like, cynical outlook on the realities of the world and especially a ton of self-hatred and feeling that they're doomed at the end of this and deserve it. I like that you still have that underlying optimism, even if it's for the next generation instead of theirs.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It is
I,
very
I do like how this show is able to like consistently hold on to a really hopeful core, even if it's going to like put its characters through hell. Like it just, it's holding on to that same idealism and seeing how that's forced to develop over time rather than abandoning it,
it's
which I
almost
think
like
is really cool.
contrast helps things stand out.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to nuke Harrison Ford's dog to make the stakes go very high and deliver hopeful
Oh, yeah.
messages. And yeah, going further along, an interesting change is that Gar's backstory is told in the manga, at least, uh, in the same like batch of chapters as Riza, Hawkeye's, and Mustang's backstories.
Mhm.
Yeah, Ed brings the gun she lent him back to her, and they just have a talk, and she just kind of sits him down and tells him about the war crimes and stuff. It is great, and yeah, it is. I think before talking about any of the manga stuff, which we should just maybe talk about just what it shows in general, because the manga stuff is mainly details that are added um and such. So Roy and Riza were active during the Ishval War of Extermination, and it is not pretty what happened there.
Yeah, it's
Um,
reading it is always a really depressing kind of reminder that like damn, as much as I like these characters, they really do need to be killed. Jesus.
yeah, they it is harrowing. They have these like scenes of just the explosions and flames and people people running away and getting like uh, locked into
Hmm.
into a dead end and getting shot from behind and stuff. It is absolutely
Yeah.
gruesome, and it is completely just senseless violence. But I think saying senseless violence is kind of it's almost giving the wrong idea, because when people talk about senseless violence, they oftentimes think about like a both sides shit or something. Like, no, this isn't like any and all violence utilized by the Ishvalans in these flashbacks and chapters is justified.
Yeah.
And
They should use
they
fucking Alpha Red on the MS
yeah
Thracians, like
like
Jesus.
they could put these guys in in like shredders or something. Like, it would all be like you can't say that's not deserved.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, I like that it doesn't do the like temptation that you're gonna have with doing kids media is having the like, or for like 12-year-olds or whatever, but like the oh, and there were a couple Ishvalans who like fought back in too mean of a way, like they used a landmine to kill like a nice Amestrasian actually.
yeah,
And like that makes them just as bad.
yeah,
Like, yeah,
the the um the the whole like that's also
the
why I love
Agent Callus classic.
True. It's also why I love Scar so much because the
Yeah,
arc isn't about him like like it's not this naive, I guess, all violence is wrong always shtick. It's
hmm,
basically just you are taking your anger out on people who didn't have anything to do with it, and if you do take like genuine revenge on the people who actually did that shit, you
yeah,
are uh, you may be justified, but you're being unproductive. Um,
yeah.
Try killing people higher up.
Yeah, with all the love in the world for young Jedi Knights, it's very easy to stumble into writing like Nola Tarkona and like, oh, look how these formerly oppressed people are now just as bad, because they're like racist against white people or whatever. But like reading this, it's like, oh, Scar like should not kill like Ed and Al, who were like 15 and not, involved, or like 10 at the time and not involved in this, but he probably should kill everyone else. Um,
Yeah, the Mustang straight up agrees that maybe he should die.
hmm.
That Scar would be like in the episode where Scar is introduced, Mustang is going, yeah, it you really can't blame the
Yeah, the
guy.
the end of that episode is literally him like sitting down the entire supporting cast and going like, "We do deserve to die, but this is not the most effective way, because it might leave some."
Yeah.
Like
Um,
that's not. I mean, you don't know until this part, but like the subtext there beyond what we did was fucked up is, and that's why we can't die yet because we need to take everyone else with us.
yeah. Yeah, and that's the crux of the episode. It's and the whole arc. It is Roy and Riza and everyone else involved in that were just going this is vile, this is evil what we did. This cannot happen again. We deserve to die. But also do all of these other guys and this and we need to ensure that this doesn't happen again and that we get all of them basically. And so
Yeah.
Roy is, yeah, I'm going to
I'm also. Oh,
go
sorry.
be the Führer and make this shit a democracy, and then
Yeah.
I'm going to um, I call it suicide by
The reform justice
Republican,
system.
yeah. Yeah, suicide via reformed Republican democracy, basically.
Yeah.
And it's the coolest motivation of any
Yeah, I
characters
was gonna
ever.
say, like, the thing that I really appreciated about this was, like, I was really worried it would walk into, Mustang is gonna become Nice Führer, and that's the solution because we put a nice guy in charge. And Ed basically says, like, hey, that won't work, to which Riza replies, like, yeah, that's why that's step one of the plan before you radically alter the structure of this country in a way that will result in our deaths. Um,
Yeah, and I really like that Riza is taking accountability here instead of
mhm,
blaming the shadow people running the government. Like Ed is giving her the easy way out and saying, "But the homunculi started the war and whatever." But she's like, "No, I
there
am
is
a
no
sniper.
dragon.
Yeah, I'm a sniper. Nobody told me to do it, and I
Hmm.
killed so many people. I have no right to call like my gun a burden anymore or something. I
Yeah.
I need to go."
Yeah, it's like, I mean, there's literally a line that's something along the lines of, like, we don't have the right to decide when our lives end. And that goes, like, both ways of the, like, the only reason I haven't killed myself is because it's someone else should be the one to do that. And also, when the time comes, I don't get to complain, you know?
Yeah. Another bit we find out here in this in these chapters in this episode is that the notes on flame alchemy are literally tattooed on Risa Hawkeye's back because alchemists are maniacs.
Yeah.
And the interesting bit is that parts of it in the future, in the present, I mean, are burnt off. And I seem to remember that the anime doesn't have the scene in it, but the implication is there, where she asks him to destroy the research
Yeah.
I
because
do
they
remember that
cannot.
scene being there.
Is there a scene of him? Does he
I-
actually burn her off in the manga? It's been a couple.
No, but
We-
there's the scene of where she's asking him to
Yeah.
destroy the research.
I was gonna say, I thought both just have the scene where she says, like, this can't happen again, like, and asking him to remove the research from the world.
I may just be misremembering because I just may just have forgotten the scene of
Maybe, yeah.
where they're at the grave of the child or something, talking about that in the anime. But
I do remember that
yeah,
scene being in there because, like, I haven't read the
okay,
manga and I do know what you're
that's
talking about.
that's good. That's good. So that's good. And one interesting bit about that for me is that I think that it tells us a lot about Roy's character and the dynamic. That her tattoos are partially burnt. You can still make out a lot of it. Because to me, that feels like Mustang deliberately only destroying as much as he needed to make the research unintelligible. Because he did not want to hurt her more than was absolutely necessary. Because, like, I would imagine if you were an alchemist who knew his stuff, you could still, like, get stuff from there and have like a starting point or something. But he probably just burnt off the really vital parts that actually make this usable or something. And I just think that's a good characterization part. And yeah. Now for manga anime differences.
Here we go.
Here in this, there is it is kind of a shame that the anime leaves out very many details from the war, because these details flesh out several characters like the rock belts and just make the world feel more alive in general. And just more well-rounded, I guess.
I should also mention there are like essences of some of these cuts still in the anime, like with Dr. Knox and his family as well. Like
Yeah,
this is like I know of this change basically. So like in the manga, like Dr. Knox was like too traumatized by the war, like to the point where like he would attack his family over it due to like trauma. So
yeah.
like he had to like separate from them. In the anime,
He says he
it
breaks up
basically like
and,
shows that like he's divorced from his wife and he throws away the picture of his son. I was wondering for the first time when I was watching, I was like, why? Then like I found out about that. I was like, oh, I wish they kept that in.
I mean,
Yeah.
they still have the scene of him talking to Mustang about what they did during the war, but yeah, it's a shame they cut the, like, because when he fakes, he recognizes Maria Ross. That's not actually her corpse. And like he talks to Mustang briefly about like what they've done and agrees to go along with him, and like that scene's still in the anime, but like yeah, it's a shame they cut the actual flashbacks.
Yeah. But it is, yeah. So and if I just didn't catch any of these scenes, like I mistakenly did about the scene where Marisa asked Mustang to burn the research, then just tell me I'm wrong. But so I think that leaving out the purge of Shvalan military personnel at this point of the story
Yeah,
it's,
that's
makes
another.
the reveal later less impactful. and it just feels odd not to show it, because like this is one of the things that made it really just one of the details that made it more harrowing. Like they started out by like imprisoning and presumably also executing a lot of just Ishvalans in the military. Like just there there is no being safe from stuff like this. The leopards will eat your face, I suppose,
Yeah.
what you could say. And yeah, then not showing that scene of Armstrong attempting to save some of them robs the show of a cool moment of his character, and just like has him like he de facto did take some action.
There's
And
also the bit of
yeah.
I think I spoke about this last time, but it also has a big moment for what I was talking about with Kimberly last time about how like above all he kind of respects staying true to who you are. He kind of has like the God damn it. He has kind of the like Troy Denning take on the Force of the like, yeah, he doesn't care whether you're like good or evil. You should follow your nature.
Yeah,
Man, Apocalypse is
that's a thing that that the show doesn't show here. Well, okay, the show. Okay, in the manga, they show that Kimberly's troop is the one that's his unit is the one that's that found the rock belts, and
Yeah, they
he
were sent there to kill them and showed up late.
yeah, basically, and he gets there, and he just genuinely shows respect for the rock belts,
Yeah,
because
there's
they
a. Oh,
did
sorry.
their jobs as doctors, like he does his job as a soldier, and he just has this very interesting view on life where these two are not at all at
Hmm.
odds. He may have had to kill them or something, but
Yeah,
there's no
there's the
you are
there's
weak
the
or
part.
something. There's
There's
just
the
you
part. I mean,
be
they
the
they
best.
keep an aspect of that, which is they have the part later on where when he meets Winry, he talks about how like he had great respect for her parents, and it is like
I thought he was
a
bullshitting there.
really fucked
Yeah,
up scene that like he is fully telling the truth there,
yeah.
but also like he would have killed them because of that.
Yeah, it is great, the scene where he talks to Winry, because he's not telling a single lie, and it's still a manipulation tactic, and it is great. It is crazy how he thinks he deserves to live. Um, yeah. Also, one just one bit about the manga is just that it showed a lot more of just individual Ishvalans getting like some little spotlights. And I think that's kind of an important thing to do in a story like this. There's just lots of panels of Ishvalans doing stuff,
Yeah,
having some speaking lines, and the rock belts getting a bit more stuff also means that they're little helping Ishvalans there who decided to help them also get some moments, and it's very nice. I like that a lot. I think the manga uh, version of the War of Extermination is genuinely some of the strongest. Like, it might be the strongest batch of chapters in the whole series.
yeah. It's
Um, yeah,
genuinely like devastating to read, but it's really well executed.
yeah, it's great on
Mhm.
that front.
One of the like biggest bits of praise I can give this manga and how it handles redemption is like as likable as its cast of war criminals are, it manages to like never fall into the temptation to go, and they said they're sorry, so it's good now. Like the uh thing is like absolutely certain to always make sure that they are held accountable and will be at the end of it.
Yeah, and also they don't have this bullshit where they like pussy out and say yeah, actually he didn't do much. He
Yeah.
didn't actually do anything.
Actually, he just joined the fascist government to kill like bad corrupt members of it, you see.
And
Yeah.
yeah, like he wasn't actually in the war much or
Yeah.
something. He was just
I
uh,
know that I bragged about giving the order to genocide your people, but I actually lied. I felt really bad and was shaking my head the whole time, you know?
true. Yeah. Oh, a thing I didn't even have in my notes, but I think probably Warren's talking about. There's a scene where the head priest, the high priest of the Ishvalans, tries to negotiate himself getting killed
Yeah.
as
Yeah,
like
that bit always, whenever I read it, makes me go like, damn, Bradley should have been killed in a more painful and humiliating way.
yeah. It is. He wants to like just symbolically uh, give his own life and just have the others spared, and Bradley is just not having it and saying you are one life
Mhm.
that's worth as
He's
much
like
as one other
bored
life.
during the negotiation too. It's
Yeah,
yeah,
he's just
fucked
saying, yeah,
up.
take them away, put them with the rest of them, and they are like and one of them's going like you fucking monster, God will punish you for this, and Bradley is just there's a I don't know if if that's also in the English dub, or if that's um specifically it was about the fist of God hitting him or something, and
Uh-huh.
Bradley has a whole bit of saying that's well, didn't hit me yet. When does he show up? If you want the fist to hit me, use your own.
Yeah.
And it is a it is a great scene of just how fucking evil the guy is, and it is very well executed. Man, um, is there something else I can say here?
There's one. I should I say it here? I did technically say it in a previous one. I could say it again here. The stuff with Basque Gran.
Oh yeah, Basque Ground is has a
That's oh, sorry, you can say yours first.
um
Should I
the
say it? I
stuff
don't know.
with him in the flashback in the manga is that they they show him basically doing morale boosts because their commanding officer is kind of a prick, a um, like he doesn't really care for ally losses and whatever, and just orders them to storm positions
That's
in.
So that's
But
one cut that I'm actually all right with for the show is I think it comes a little too close to doing like, and look how hard this genocide was on the soldiers. Um, is like there's probably like room for like some discussion there of like yeah, uh, this is like really not good for anyone. No one benefits aside from the evil wizard orchestrating it. But also, like, that's a cut that I am fine with. Even just like aside from personal tastes, I also think it fits the context where it's being told of because we're sort of being delivered this exposition about Ishval, especially the show leans into it even more with how it cuts around. It's through the eyes of Hawkeye and Dr. Marco, and so I think it makes a lot more sense for it to kind of avoid the. And it was also pretty hard on the soldiers in favor of, and what the soldiers did is irredeemable evil, and they all deserve to die for it.
yeah,
When you have two characters who are like the strongest advocates for that position being the one giving us this information.
Yeah.
What I was getting at basically was like the part where like in the manga, I think I've only heard of this basically where so Bosque Gran like actively like tried to like help the peace negotiations with the Ishvalans, and even so
Mhm.
like straight up murdered a commanding officer who was going too far with it. I think
Yeah,
that should have been kept
Yeah.
in the show because it would have been like it would have given a bit more nuance to Scar's like introductory kill.
I do like the irony of
yeah,
Scar's first kill being like, one of the 99% Hitler guys. But yeah, one of the people who was more like doesn't he isn't he the one who like brings in the guy for the peace negotiations? Like he prevents
yeah,
his troops from firing on
Yeah.
him.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy, the high priest, is going there and asks to be brought to the Führer, and the commanding officer is just going turbo Hitler and saying
Mhm.
he's in his Ishvalan, just fucking kill him. We don't have time for this
Yeah.
bullshit. And Grant at this point just like shoots him in the torso, and
Yeah.
everyone
They
around him
do
is like,
they
"Oh
do the
no,
Girin Zabi like, and our commanding officer died in brave combat, you know?
they're going like, oh damn, a stray bullet,
Yeah.
and then bring the high priest to
But yeah.
Hitler.
I actually do find it interesting that they did make Bosque Gran like that in the that Arakawa made Bosque Gran like that in the manga, because like in the 2003 show, like he was fucking evil. Like
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, it's the whole thing, I think, in the Ishval war is that it's good, quote unquote, people are not safe from doing reprehensible stuff if they
Yeah.
just don't say no.
I mean, that's like kind of the whole thing with Mustang and Hawkeye is like he's he's joining the military for like very like optimistic moral reasons, but that doesn't mean he's not committing evil. It's I mean, a bit of hope slop you recently read. Zwei. This is sort of the Hal and New Frontier thing of joining the U.S. military to learn to fly just in time for the Korean War.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's the I generally do really love the Ishval stuff though. Even if like I do have a couple issues with it, like I've said earlier, with like I think some elements of it can trend a little close to bits I don't like, but generally I think it's probably the strongest part of the manga.
Yeah,
sorry, quick
it
question.
is.
Yeah.
How many episodes in are we in this coverage at the moment?
We're only uh we're on 4 out of 13, but the rest will have a lot
Wait,
less to say
wasn't it
about.
11 out of 11? Like I remember that being the case. Because we're like an hour and 8 minutes in. We should probably hurry up a bit.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean,
And
we can just sort of like hit beats for if we have something to comment on for the later ones,
yeah,
because
yeah.
this is kind of like probably the most important thing to discuss in the series, I think.
yeah. That is true. That's
Yeah.
true. I don't remember the other episodes having as much depth as this one.
Yeah. I mean,
The
I've
next one is
already hit on like one of few things I wanted to, which was the Winry and Kimberly conversation.
Oh, there
yeah,
is
definitely.
Kimberly to talk about a lot more, and there's like a important Hohenheim
Yeah.
scene. But yeah, we should
Yeah,
we
yeah.
should get to that then. Let's move on to the
Yeah.
next episode. I don't
Get,
think
get,
there's
get,
anything else to talk about.
getting the next one has some stuff to say, but I think then this is the most meat on any episode is in this one, and the manga counterpart, obviously. The 520 cent promise is
Yeah.
great as a like episodes, character, moment, conversation, scene, chapter. It's just very cool to have them interact in this way. The I just like this. You better stay alive to see this through. thing.
Mhm.
And yeah, the plan being laid out. Yeah, you get to the top. You are going to democratize this fucking nation.
Yeah.
And then there's more work to do probably, so you can't die yet.
Yeah, I really like, I mean, two elements, which is first of all, the bit of like Ed's basically, I'm going to keep extorting you for like, a few cents to prevent your suicide, is very fun. And also like, depending on how optimistic you want to read Hawkeye and Mustang's ending and like how beyond forgiveness or atonement you think they are. I do like the way that this kind of balances that, and the end of the show in general, where it's kind of up to your interpretation how well it goes. Um, but I do like that regardless, the point this kind of makes is that if you are going to lean towards forgiveness for them at all, it has to come from like an external source. Like it can never be, and then they go, "Yup, I think I've done enough to atone."
Yeah. The whole bit is you are going to have to do more work. There's always more you can do.
Yeah.
Um,
Like I've
and
spoken
yeah,
about this with a friend, but like, even with like by the end of the series, I think the spot they're in with even Scar is probably, I don't think he would kill Mustang or Hawkeye because he respects that they're gonna kill themselves.
yeah. um, and I like the moment of Ed going that Roy shouldn't be worrying Risa, and Mustang getting
Yeah,
frustrated.
specifically his reasoning for sparing it or for trying to spare his life is you shouldn't make the lieutenant sad is really funny.
Yeah, that's great. I love these characters, and yeah, Kimberly's reintroduction into the present setting is great. What a deranged fucking guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I love him like handing the watch that is shaped like a bomb to the guy, and it's just a little like Jack in the Box.
Yeah. um. Oh yeah. And uh, Scar is coming across Marco. I think he did in the last episode. And they break out of the cell. Scar is like, I'm not gonna kill you yet. There's work to do, and you don't deserve to die yet. I think you gotta help me out. And they I like that they are competent enough to fake Marco's death. And the
Yeah.
villains are competent enough to see through the ruse, which
Hmm.
is I like
Yeah,
when
the
stuff like
bit
this
of
happens in the story.
I was flipping through panels of the manga earlier, and yeah, there's that nice bit of father just kind of, you know, I think it's Envy walks in to the corpse of quote unquote of Marco, and then father just kind of looks over at the missing chimera and is like, I wonder what happened here.
Yeah. Um yeah. That's and this episode has a moment that's also touching on the Ishval stuff and redemption and whatever. And because Nox, Dr. Nox, is an interesting character because I think it is very cool how Nox kind of naturally gravitates toward doing the right thing despite complaining and grumbling and moaning all the way through it.
Mhm.
Like you really get the sense that
It's a fun
Ishval
bit of
took
characterization.
yeah, Ishval took like a genuinely decent man and turned him into a criminal. And on one hand, that shows that complacency and loyalty to bad causes can make you fall into really bad places morally, despite how good you are or start out as. Um, but the story also leaves the door open for atonement and redemption for what he's done. And Nox is a broken man, but he kind of starts over not in like a grand way, but like one good act at a time. And that's just an interesting perspective. Like, does he deserve to drink coffee with his family again? Who's to say? I'd like to believe the scales of the universe tip that way for those people who are genuine about what they did and
Mhm.
what they like, and about repentance and atonement and stuff. So it's just a very, very interesting character who's getting kind of overshadowed by the loads of other really good characters who have more screen and page time, but it's just a very strong presence, I think, for how minor he is in the grand scheme of the show, I think.
There is
Yeah.
one change that Brotherhood made. I'm pretty sure like the scene where he does have coffee with his family is different in the manga. Where like
Yeah,
in Brotherhood it's more has a more positive conclusion, while in the manga it doesn't.
it's from what I remember in the it's more it's less about the conclusion. It's more that that the anime cuts out a lot of the conversation they have. It's basically the son the son in the anime does say he wants to become a doctor and stuff, but they just have an extended conversation about what he like did in Ishval and how that's not really like how can you come back from that anyway, but there's they they're kind of having a nuanced conversation
Yeah,
for
I can
the
post the
panels.
page right here, but yeah,
Hmm.
it's basically saying that like what he did is unforgivable, but that doesn't mean he shouldn't like try to atone for it.
Oh, I like that better actually. I'm gonna
Yeah,
show this on screen after in
yeah.
post, but yeah.
So hang on, I'll give you one without a watermark, maybe.
Um,
But yeah, I
it's
do really
fine.
like
Doesn't
this scene a
matter
lot.
either
I
way.
actually did not remember that it is cut. That's a real shame. Um,
Yeah, the greatest adaptational like weaknesses the story the anime has is just like detail stuff.
mhm.
People would probably say yeah the beginning being so I guess people would say rushed or like there's stuff cut out. But that's yeah obviously, but I think in the grand scheme of things, just the in the later part, some of the details add up to more of what I would genuinely have an issue with. With like I don't really care that the fucking train scene chapter got cut, but stuff like this getting cut is worse in my opinion.
There is like I've seen some people say that they hate Brotherhood over this, which like okay, fine, but like acting like the entire thing is bad because of like one aspect of it is a bit absurd, I think.
Yeah, it's like there are elements of it that are weaker, like I mean, I prefer the manga. I'd recommend people read it. I like it more, but like I still really do love Brotherhood. It has a lot of strengths that I like. It is just fun to get to see this stuff played out in a different medium in a very similar way, even if it
Yeah,
results in like some very minor cuts.
yeah, it is definitely just it's I guess like turning a 9 out of 10 into an 8 out of 10 or whatever. I don't know.
Hmm.
Um, that's but it's you. There's that's just complaining on a high standard, I guess.
I don't know if
Um,
I'd agree it drops it that much because like the Ishval stuff on its own is still good, like in the
it's
show.
just that's just me like doing a
Yeah,
I guess
it's
like
maybe
to
like
get the point
subjectively it
across.
would,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
objectively
I
I
think it
think it's
keeps.
still quite great.
yeah,
Yeah. I think
it
it
is,
keeps all the
yeah,
strongest elements of the Ishval arc. It's just there's some bits where I'm like, it is a shame that we don't get to see more of the. I mean, like what you were talking about more with like having a few more random Ishval in, so it doesn't feel like they're just like corpses, which like is still effective, but like, it's there is like a sad quality to getting to see like glimpses into these like characters who are immediately gone.
yeah, um, yeah, definitely. So,
I think we're done with the Ishval stuff now.
Yeah.
and I also with the
This should be
episode.
faster because I have significantly less to say about this part.
I do have. There is one thing I think we did forget to cover the first episode, with like an exchange between Envy and Father, I'm gonna say use they for Envy, even though like the subtitles for the version of the anime I used he, or like Envy keeps talking about how much like they just look down upon humanity and the like, and then Father like says that Envy talks too much. This will be
No, yeah.
pretty good foreshadowing for later, which we'll talk about in the 5th coverage.
Yeah.
I wonder if, like how I was talking earlier about there being an ironic trait to every homunculus, I wonder if there's anything with the character named Envy talking about how they definitely aren't jealous of humans.
I think we can
Yeah.
move on to the next few episodes now.
Yeah. The episode with Selim Bradley. The scenes with
Second
Selim
worst
Bradley.
vibes I've had from a kid I've read recently. That kid sucks.
Real.
Yeah, after Ben
On
Skywalker, of course.
rewatch, these scenes are mad funny because when
He's
you
just
know what.
rage baiting him.
Yeah, because it's just they he's just fucking with them. It's great. And I like Bradley taunting the Elrics basically with his like perfect little family of happy people, as if like daring them to threaten them because he knows they would never do that, and messing with their head by humanizing him in their eyes. It's just really funny and fucked up. And
Look how much this little chud loves his alive mother.
yeah.
Look at all of his limbs that are present.
Yes.
And
And
this Bradley's a bad guy, huh?
true. He is an interesting deviation from the manga in the sense that they add a lot of stuff in here. They to the road to bricks in general. There's when I read the manga, I was like, are there pages missing here? And like, no, that's just more happening on screen in that scene, in these in that sequence, basically. Just Kimberly's detective work and them arriving in the north. There's just more stuff in there.
Oh, we have one of my one of my favorite bits in this part is because Kimberly is sent out to track down Scar. When he first corners him on the train, Scar immediately like uses his destruction powers to create like a jagged pipe basically, and then just throws it through him and impales him. Immediately fight over, to which Kimberly goes like, "Oh, I'm not built for this," and like breaks the coupling on the train so he can get away. And then when the train crew sees that they've lost half their cars, they go back to check, and he goes, "Do not stop."
He's like, I like how deranged he is there.
He just instantly going. He realized he's not built for this. It's fucking Brachus fighting Luke and realizing like, oh, he's trying now. I'm gonna leave.
But the great thing about it is that for Gimli, this is like this is great. He loves this. He's feeling so alive.
Yeah.
And yeah. Yeah. Them being that's already in the next episode. Them being no, that we are already talking about that episode. Them being Ed and Al being really giddy over seeing snow reminds us of that these are two kids and they just really did not deserve this shit of a life.
Yeah.
This reminds me of another snow-related scene, reminding me of kids being kids, of fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, of them having like the little Christmas preparation while Leonardo is experiencing the horrors and stuff. That's just instantly sprang to my mind. and I was like, yeah, that's great. I like it. I like when we have kid protagonists and we are reminded that yes, these are kids actually. They should not be in these scenarios. They should be in school. They should be like trading Pokemon cards and
They should be
wearing
flying a
little.
mobile suit. They should be part of Rogue Squadron. They should be doing kid activities.
Yeah, they should
Or
be
even
wearing little
piloting an
propeller
Evo, you
heads.
know?
Yeah.
So fucked up that these kids are going through hell when they should be at war.
True. Um. Oh, and another thing about Edwards and kids and Snow. Um, I love the detail that Edwards' like aesthetic tastes are consistently over the top and kind of edgy,
Oh, he would love
featuring.
to use on Vong.
Yeah, he loves featuring skulls in there. Even the snowman has like tusk, and the buttons
There's
are
a bit
skull
later
shaped.
on. There's a bit later on where he like disguises a car and makes like the most over-designed like Hot Wheels piece of crap ever.
He'd love to walk into a hot topic. Um, yeah, the intro to Briggs and the crew is very good and immediately shows you what to expect. Like these people are
Yeah,
not to be
they're like
fucked with.
they're up there. They're throwing it. They're preparing for Russia. Um, they love just murder and to kill people for fun. They're great. I love that they're all like kind of insane, but in an endearing way.
Yeah, they are kind of like talking about like when in the scene later where Armstrong is going, ha, I would have used torture, but I am just a woman and I can't really bring myself to torture kids. And then
Yeah,
then Buccaneer is like, ha, that's bullshit. She would
yeah.
totally do that.
Ed listening on the other side, as if like she would absolutely do it if she thought there was like a minor strategic gain. It's so funny.
Yeah. Um um and we get introduced to in the Briggs crew in episode 34 to Miles. Miles is part Ishvalan.
Yeah,
Parts enough or little enough to not have been caught in the purge, and mainly just because he's in Briggs and um, Mayor Armstrong is absolutely not having this shit. She's like the woke military dictator who's accepting of all races, genders, and creeds in her in her efforts to prepare for the Russians.
it's
Um,
Armstrong is kind of what Ed initially assumed Mustang's goal was, which was being like a woker fascist.
yeah, it is great. How she just she told him that yeah, if they can't do racism up here. That
Yeah.
would be complete nonsense. That has no strategic value.
Uh-huh.
And if he has,
Discrimination provides no tactical advantage whatsoever.
yeah,
If she learned like art phrenology, she would be all over it. But like, as it stands, there's nothing to gain.
yeah, she and her going and oh, if you hate the masculine military so much for what they're doing, then come at me, bro, and being completely serious about it. It's great.
Yeah. There's
And
also the bit where like yeah, they also say like, Miles got off on like a technicality um for like, despite like, having all Ishvalan like traits, he technically has like enough non-Ishvalan relatives for him to escape the purge guidelines.
yeah,
Yeah.
um, and yeah,
Man,
like
Amestris is
like
pretty
aesthetically,
bad.
yeah, yeah,
The shape
yeah,
this
totally.
country is in is pretty bad, I must say.
Yeah, true. I do wonder. Like I would never expect a country with a guy called Führer in charge
A
to
guy
be.
called Führer, title Führer, first name King.
Yeah. That didn't ring alarm bells in me.
Yeah.
Anyway, also Edward is really lucky that Miles is already like tired of all of the sympathies he's
Yeah.
getting and people walking on eggshells around him because the gambit he pulled was rude as hell.
We get like the most what I was worried the Ishval flashback arc would be from Edward here, by the way, which is when he's like, I think we should all just like move beyond race. And it's like, I don't know, man, I don't know how easy it is to adopt a colorblind worldview when there was a genocide like 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's he like it's like a good basic idea he's expressing there, but also in the way that that he does it, it's like tone deaf, you know. So like I said,
Mhm.
he's really lucky Miles is chill about this shit. Um
Yeah.
and
Yeah. I mean, the defense I'll give for both the show and the character is he's like 12, you know? Um, uh, and the more
8 year
serious version
old.
of that I'll give is that he has that kind of like early Mustang extreme optimism that like hasn't quite realized what the world is like, which is why he'll say a like very not nuanced take like that. Even though I'm sure if it was a scene with like Mustang and Hawkeye or Scar present, they'd be like, hey man, that's not how this works.
Yeah, they just genuinely just put a hand on his shoulder and go like, buddy.
Yeah.
um yeah, what's Sloth is introduced in this episode, and Sloth
He's so
I suppose
me.
I suppose they did show him for like a second
Yeah,
before, I
there's like a
think.
cutaway to him when they melt greed.
Like a Family Guy cutaway gag to Sloth
Yeah.
being
That was just like the time that I was building a circle around a mistress.
yeah. Um,
Yeah.
I love that Sloth is a hulking monster of muscle and strength
Mm-hmm. And
who has
also has
no
super speed, but he's too lazy to use it.
he has no desire to utilize any of that
Yeah.
shit. I
And
like
also, yeah.
that being Sloth. I
Also just
that
very fun
yeah.
classic wrinkle of like he has super speed but like regular perception. But that's getting way ahead of where we are.
Yeah, it's just a really cool twist on the concept of the deadly
Yeah.
sins.
I love that his catchphrase is as he's going around just going like, oh bother, like an evil Eeyore from wait, is that the donkey from Winnie the Pooh?
Yeah,
Yeah, you're
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. But yeah, like,
yeah.
you know, just whining that he has to do anything like me when I'm told to do my job at my job. Like,
Yes, he's like, what a
yeah.
pain. I could die, but no, dying is also pain, I
Yeah.
think.
And
He's
thinking
too
about this
lazy
is
to
too
die.
hard. He's so
Too lazy
funny.
to die is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, he waltzes into there because the tunnel he's digging around the Mistress is just intersecting with basically the basement of Breaks.
It's so funny how like half of the homunculi are like, you know, like envy, pride, wrath, like most evil people to ever live, but then like uh greed, sloth, and gluttony, those are just like guys being dudes who like kind of suck, but not in a malicious way.
Yeah, Gluttony just wants to eat.
Yeah. Like dude, if someone taught him that you could eat like food instead of people, that's probably a problem solved.
Like, yeah, Gluttony, there wouldn't even need to be like a redemption for the guy. You just needed to put him under like the
Yeah.
authority of another
Oh, dude,
person.
he would get along great with Ling. He'd be like, "Hey, come back to Jing with me. I'll become emperor because you're a philosopher's stone, and I'll give you all the food you need."
Yeah,
There you go. There's a instant solution. Why didn't they do this? Haven't they read the manga?
Man. And yeah, Sloth goes in there, and he's just confused because that he's not in the tunnel anymore, and just
Yeah.
goes around rampaging.
I love their like cozy little base, by the way. The like it's like a little wall between the mountains that naturally block off the north, where they've got like little heated area that Sloth is just like he accidentally walks onto a cargo elevator. They're
Yeah,
like building the first tanks there. It's a whole fun set piece.
yeah. They try to kill that thing dead because they think it's a bioweapon from Drachma, and
It's a Russian
uh,
spy.
yeah, basically they're basically accusing him of being a communist spy, and Edward too, because he's talking to him. Like Ed and Elle are going, oh shit, are they onto us? Hey, didn't you hear that father was allowing us to go about and just like continue our research as long as we don't fuck with his plans? And he's just like, who are you? I am from ancient Amestris.
I am a 200-year-old mole person.
Yeah, that's and then he just start eating the nearest sheet metal or something. Basically, um, they they realize very quickly that even like hitting him with tank rounds isn't actually taking him out.
Uh-huh.
So they the
What if
way
we just
they
like what if we just like freeze him?
yeah, it's great. The way they beat him is very inventive because they just like douse him in special engine oil stuff that's made specifically for the cold environment that can evaporate in cold environments, and they douse him in that and hit him with tank shells until he
They
falls
knock
off
they
and
knock
kick
an
him.
icicle onto his head like a cart. I guess it is a cartoon, but, you know.
Yeah, and make him um, fall down, and then he is in the blizzards. The stuff evaporates, takes away body heat, and they say basically, yeah, his brain is gonna freeze up, and so they neutralize the threat by literally
Mhm.
just putting him in hibernation.
Yeah, and then a trusted friend of Grumman, General Raven, comes up and is like, "Hey, you should put him back. I get good vibes from him. He has very kind eyes." Um,
Yeah, um, yeah, that's the next bit about Grumman comes in there, and Kimberly is also
yeah.
there.
He brings
And
that like doctor who can fake out fridging to free Kim or to heal up Kimblee.
I think you two are
yeah,
getting in some characters confused. That's not whatever his name is. That's Raven.
Hmm?
no,
Did I
no,
say
fuck,
Grumman.
Kim?
Grumman is
Hmm?
the other
Oh,
guy,
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Raven.
Sorry, yeah, Raven, trusted friend of Grumman.
Yeah, Raven, just friend of Grumman. Sorry,
Yeah.
I got
Who would
Raven.
never do anything wrong in his life.
Yeah, Raven, the most moral man I know.
Of
Um,
course. Although
um,
he does talk about, I don't know, I assume it's some like comic or something about like a legion of unkillable soldiers, I don't know.
True. Um, I um, I like that alchemy and alchemy are using different power sources that we find out in this episode. Or like yeah, all is one is all. It's kind of the same thing. They're just using basically they're using a different direction. The alchemy uses the tectonic plate stuff, and the alchemy uses the dragon pulse, which flows from the top of mountains down. So that's a clue as to how this might operate a bit. Um, and I uh, I I I just kind of appreciate this world building detail. It's important, obviously.
Yeah, it's also like a cool way of like explaining how like alchemy is able to like do transmutations from far away as well.
Yeah, it's a different understanding. It's just kind of using essentially the same thing, but having a different understanding of it that enables you to do other things.
It's a really fun way of like to do something I would never do, which is talk about some Legends slop. Terrible book by Dave Wolverton, The Courtship of Princess Leia, created some Star Wars things you might know, such as Dathomir and the Night Sisters. And like one fun thing that it does there is Night Sister magic is kind of just rather than being the way it is in a lot of later stuff where it's some wildly different abilities, it's just sort of a different understanding of the same principles where like hand movements and incantations are like sort of a mental block that they think is required to use certain things, when really it's just a way of understanding how to tap into a source of power. And I really like how alchemy as a power system like plays with that same idea of like there do appear to be clear rules, like obviously equivalent exchange you can't get around. Even with like Philosopher's Stones, you're getting around it by using something else. So it's still, equivalent in one way or another. And then like but it's fun how there seems to be kind of fluid rules if you understand it on a deeper level, where there's a bunch of different paths you can take. That basic idea, though, I think it's very fun. I really love the power system in this show. It's just really great, like stuff to explore from a bunch of different angles. It's awesome.
One of the best I've seen in anything really. There's so much stuff that's just great about it, and it's great that it doesn't yield itself great to power escalation like other shonen often gets, because you have like in episode 1 basically just features the extent of what you can do with that shit. If a guy touches you and he can freeze your like water in your body, you are dead. And that's kind of the extent of it. There's no real way to go around that. There's you can't tank that shit or something. The only way you can get around that is by not being made out of so much water, which is
I think it's also just a very fun wrinkle of like there's no way to, well, with the exception of one very big way that takes more resources than you probably have, there's no way to like, and I use the alchemy to make myself have higher durability feats. It's like, no. Mustang probably has the single most potent form of offensive alchemy. He snaps his fingers and you die, but also you can shoot him with a gun and he will die. And that's just like a very fun bit of balance. It's like a fun texture to the world. I like when I like glass cannons. They're fun, and just due to the nature of how it works, kind of a big, kind of the core of the show is that humans still have human limits, even if we can surpass elements of them. And so I think it's fun to play with that.
Definitely, it's great. Armstrong taking Ed and Elle into the tunnel so that they are completely alone, and she just says, "Hey, spill the beans. What are you hiding? Nobody's listening." And I didn't even intend to make a joke about that. That just came on its own. And they are like, okay, these are the facts. So the Führer is Hitler, and also.
Gee, you don't say.
Nobody's listening. Tell me
Nobody
what the
saw that
Führer
one
is planning
coming.
and what happened to your body, and answer both. It's not an and or question.
and they're going. So the Führer is Hitler, and also he's like a weird goblin person, and there's wizards, and I'm not making this shit up. The country is run by an evil wizard, and after that they go over.
You're Bradley is scared of me because I don't swallow knowledge and I spit it for free.
They go over a map and history of Amestris, and they figure out the nationwide transmutation circle thing.
It appears that every bad thing that happens in this country is moving counterclockwise in a perfect circle. I wonder if there's any significance to that. Also, by the way, the next spot is where we currently are.
Yeah, and I love just them realizing that like the scene of they are not using the country for their own ends. They made the country for this.
Yeah.
Like they find out that the country they inhabit is ontologically evil.
Mhm.
The whole country was founded for the express purpose and
Yeah.
only purpose
What
to
do you
do
mean
evil
I've
wizard
been
shit.
preparing? What do you mean spent my life preparing for a threat against a country created as a suffering farm for an evil wizard?
It is great. Like Amestus is evil on levels that we can't replicate in real life.
Yeah.
Fundamentally. And that's a great note to end that episode on. Because the next one, if you don't have anything other to say about that.
Oh, speaking of which, how many episodes left? Because we're almost 2 hours in.
2.
Oh, 2?
Or
We
no,
are at
4.
3.
3 episodes left? Oh, okay,
We
that
are,
works well then.
we, my notes are currently at episode 30. Yeah, okay. Anyway, we should be going through this at a reasonable pace, I hope.
Yeah, we are. I
Yeah.
think we're.
We've really picked up. So
yeah.
This is mainly about Ishval, you know.
Theoretically,
Yeah,
I could go for maybe 3 hours with this episode because I have enough time for that. It's just like.
All right.
Yeah, it's just better to.
I think we're at a good
like,
pace right now.
But yeah, it's better to mind the time than be just not doing that, I guess. No pretty way to say this right now for me. Yeah, the Hohenheim episode. One of the Hohenheim episodes, I guess.
Oh, I'm gonna have some stuff to say for this one. I'll wait my turn though.
Yeah, I mean, what do you have to say?
We will get to that because we're not at that part yet.
Yeah.
Okay. So Hohenheim is a very interesting and deeply tragic character. It's like he's this classic archetype of an immortal that has seen people come and go and is growing desensitized. But he, in his own like when making a family, he is realizing that there's just kind of stuff he's not actually yet prepared to lose and see with a way in front of him, and he's feeling for the first time that this body he has is kind of a curse. At least you can view it that way, and that's the way he views it. That moment. That's why he his head hand hovering over the Elrics, and he doesn't want to touch them because he's scared he's gonna infect them with being monsters.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of heavy stuff. And him crying in the in the family photo, is a great subversion.
Yeah, I
of
do love how it
the idea.
recontextualizes earlier stuff of like him keeping his distance from Ed when they both stop by the Rock Bells at the same time, or like he goes like, "Why'd you burn down my house, you little shit?" Or like the fact that his face is always hidden, both because presumably Ed doesn't want to see it, but also because it's hiding this from the audience, is like great stuff.
I feel like this is a good time to mention what I was going to talk about. The character
Yeah, go ahead.
parallel. There is something really interesting I noticed a bit ago when I was rewatching the show for, I guess, the second coverage, was it?
I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah, it was the second.
Um, Basically, there's a bit of like a parallel between the way Ed Hohenheim views himself and how Trisha views him to how Ed views Hohenheim and how Al views him. So because how Ed resembles Hohenheim, Ed's feelings towards Hohenheim kind of match the way that Hohenheim feels about himself. And since Al like resembles Trisha, the way Al feels about Hohenheim mirrors her feelings towards him.
That's
Yeah,
that's
it's
kind
a
of
sorry.
yeah. You might be right.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
It's a fun
Good
parallel of
observation.
like, I mean, the angle I think of this from is of course the main character of the show, Colonel Roy Mustang. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Ed's dynamic with Mustang and Hawkeye is because that's another character he's very similar to. He has both that same like kind of full of himself attitude and naive optimism, which results in Mustang kind of not being able to stand him. Like he and Ed both hate each other and give each other a lot of shit because they're so similar. Whereas Hawkeye is a lot nicer to him because he reminds her of Mustang, and like it's a similar thing with Hohenheim, where obviously Ed is a lot like his father,
As much as he
and
doesn't want to
that
admit it, even like
yeah, and that
appearance
results
wise.
in we get scenes of Hohenheim giving him shit in ways that you can read as like, oh, this is also him kind of expressing self-hatred, like when he's talking about how you burned down the house because you were like running away from your problems, you were like ashamed of what you've done. Like I feel like that's very much him also like expressing doubts and self-hatred he has about himself, but like directing it at Ed because they're so similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, there's so
Yeah.
much with this show that to just like explore it. We keep finding new and new things with it.
Yeah. It is great. The character work in this is so good. The way these relationships are written and how they are informed
Yeah.
by their individual just experiences, and how I like these things of the characters being so similar to each other, and that's why they don't get along because of these similarities, which is always a fun spin on things.
Yeah.
And oh, it's so good.
The Coral
Hohenheim
Hornum
is
Borges,
great.
the
Yeah,
oh man, this guy sucks because, and then proceeds to list a bunch of his own character flaws, is always like a
yeah,
very fun trope to play with.
yes. Ah, and Hohenheim figures out the whole like a master scheme in his research to get like a body that can die, because he wants to grow old and die with his wife and not survive
Hmm.
his children. And he's like, yeah, gotta go. I gotta deal with this somehow.
Hmm.
And that's why he's a deadbeat.
I'm
Um,
sorry, there's a long to prepare for.
I think
Yeah.
there's another interesting thing here. Like if Hohenheim hadn't set out, Father's plan may not have been like as successful as it played out in the show, I think.
This is true, or maybe he has to sacrifice a couple more guys like he did with Pride to get it working. But yeah, like there is that kind of fun element of, you know, um, I mean that's just kind of a classic trope of like I've got to prevent this really bad thing from happening, causing it. Um,
Yeah. and going
Yeah.
like by accident making it worse
Yeah.
or something.
Well, I'm gonna
'cause
leave my family with like a bunch of money, hope they're well off. Hopefully my wife doesn't, I don't know, like die of diseases because it's like 1910, causing my chud sons to attempt human transmutation, which will bring about the end of the world. That sure would be an unfortunate like domino of events, eh?
Yeah. But it's great when you have characters have to pick up the pieces they broke apart accidentally. Um, yeah. Um,
Uh, shit,
I,
what episode were we? Oh yeah, first or no wait, Family Portrait, right?
yeah. Yeah. One thing I'm gonna mention, I think that like in relation to the manga, I seem to remember that Trisha in the manga is shown with more facial expressions than in the anime. Like in the
Mm-hmm.
anime, she's mainly rocking that wife motherly smile, while in the manga she has more of a range of expressions. That at least it felt like that because I've read the chapter more recently than I watched the episode. Episodes like 2 days
Mm-hmm.
ago, and that chapter was today. This may just be me messing up my memory accidentally. Um,
Huh.
but yeah. Other things that happen in this episode is Kimberly introducing his newest gambit, which is, "Hey Ed, I brought Winry with me. Would be a shame if she, I don't know, exploded." and and our guy Pride shows up in the tunnel and skewers some people, and that's uh, that's a cool thing to talk about. I think Pride's power set is very interesting to me. What I like about it a lot is that um, his powers come from shadows. So he moves in shadows and creates like limbs from that and stuff.
Yeah, that is
Uh, and
cool, actually.
and you would think that this means he would be kind of like unstoppable in darkness or something, but the funny bit is that no, he cannot do much in darkness because he actually needs light. He needs a light source to create a
Mm-hmm.
contrast, to like create a shadow in the first place. There needs to be some light in the equation to like make, like, to give himself shape and texture. Basically, that's a really nice spin on it, and it's relevant. It becomes very relevant later, and it's already relevant because when they later in like this batch of episodes rescue the few survivors, they're like, don't make torches, don't make light. This is if we make light, there's gonna be a monster. Um, and I just find that very cool. It's a neat it's just thinking about this idea a bit more than many people would probably do. Like a lot of people would just create, if they had to create like a shadow monster guy, they would make it so that if the room's completely dark, they basically have free reign. But it's a bit more thought maybe put into that. Is there anything more to say about that episode in particular?
I don't remember, honestly.
I sure hope we didn't forget anything really important. Um,
That's come
the
back to
next
bite us
one,
before.
yeah, happens. The next one has the very cool scene of Kimberly telling Winry about parents, not telling a single lie. Everything he tells her is the truth.
This is true. This is a fact.
Yeah, and
He's like a Berger in a way. He's secretly a Sith Lord.
and concerning Kimberly, is another good scene. In general, a good scene where Winry is working on Ed's automail, and Ed is trying like to warn her about Kimberly, and like when he tries talking about Kimberly doing war crimes in Ishwal, he gets like mentally flashbanged by what Teresa told, and has like a moment of introspection and I guess moral complexity when he realizes that that's you can't really say stuff like this in these contexts because I know so many fucking war criminals. There he also remembers that Teresa astutely observed that he very much likes Winry, which which prompts him to list off the periodic table to distract himself, which prompts her to mutter that why the hell did I fall in love with such an idiot, which she doesn't hear. And it's a funny, cute little scene.
Yeah, they have a fun dynamic.
And this episode reveals Pride being the Führer's adoptive son, Selim Bradley. Because Pride almost skewers the rescue team, but gets distracted because he has to be places, and because Risa is handing out some paperwork at the residence of King Bradley, and he just like shows up to jump scare her, and when his mother is telling Risa about how Salem is like allegedly a distant relative of Bradley, Risa very quickly puts two and two together, and it's like, oh shit. And they have a talk outside where Pride surprises her a bit, and reveals like himself, puts the cards on the table, and that has an interesting bit in it for me, because Risa talks about feeling a sort of pressure from Pride, like like kind of feeling the
Oh
malicious
yeah,
energy.
it's yeah. She
And
says something about like sensing something wrong.
Oh,
yeah,
I also, sorry, before this, I do want to mention something a bit cool.
yeah.
Wait, fuck, did I forget? I think I just forgot what I was about to say.
Oof.
Oh, no, okay,
Happens.
I think I got it, yeah. I do
Okay.
like how, like, the backstory for, like, Selim being adopted technically, like, isn't a lie either. Just like,
Yeah,
Kimberly's respect for, like, Winry's parents.
yeah.
They're, like,
Distant
really good at
relative.
using
Everything I
fucking
tell you is
manipulation
the
tactics
truth.
like this. It's a neat
Yeah,
thing among the higher-ups of Amestris.
I like that. And what were we saying? Yeah, right. Risa sensing Pride. And I
Yeah,
was
maybe she picked up that like Jingi's ability to like sense bad vibes, I guess.
yeah. That's literally what I was gonna like. At least it's in the direction because I think it's very interesting that she talks about like feeling the malicious energy or like some pressure, and I would wager that this is essentially the same thing as Link's like life sense thing he and the ninjas got, but like unrefined. Um, and maybe like it could just be that like obviously Hawkeye is supposed to be very perceptive. She's a sniper and stuff. So there's got to be like some refinement of if humans can use that stuff, then she probably like picked some of that up. But
I imagine that's the
could
case, yeah.
it could just be like that homunculi, like pride, have just like a presence that is so strong that normal and untrained people can genuinely feel them in the same way that Ling could feel like normal life signatures or something, because there's just so much soul energy, so much like metaphysical weight focused on such tiny of a point. So at that point, if one of them is like letting loose, you can like genuinely feel that. And I think that there's some underrated or just throwaway pieces of, I guess, metaphysics that Fullmetal Alchemist has, like that, like the ninjas being able to sense life and stuff, and this happening. It's fun. That's just kind of adding to the world a bit, and not being very cut and dry how that's supposed to work. Yeah, the conversation they have is also really cool because she is obviously like kind of scared shitless, because that's a very scary situation to be in, but she also is smart enough and courageous enough to go like still extract some info out of it and tell him, cut the shit, you're not going to kill me, I'm a hostage, you don't kill hostages for no reason. And that's very strong character interaction again. Yeah, that's my notes for this episode, basically. Is there anything more to say?
I don't really have a ton to say other than actually it might be the next episode, yeah, but I do think the bit of her like conveying the information about Salem being a homunculus through like just a bunch of names and conversation is really fun and gets back to that fun kind of like subterfuge aspect of the Mustang and Hawkeye plotline that Bradley said is over early on.
Yeah.
That's like a really fun bit.
Yeah.
Oh, also, actually, yeah, the bit of her going home, briefly panicking when she sees eyes in the dark before realizing they're her dog, and then getting calmed down because Mustang calls her while drunk is a really great little character beat.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
man, I love. Yeah, and the next one. Um, my first note on it is that's on a meta level. Bear with me, it's kind of brilliant that they didn't adapt the early Yogi plot in Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, because the whole episode is so irrelevant for the Eric brother that they just straight up forgot Yogi.
Actually, yeah, that's true.
I actually
the
did
bit
like
of-
that, yeah. It
That
was a
bit's
funny
really
joke.
good.
like they,
It was like the
yeah,
one plus side to doing that.
of course we don't remember who that is. That guy wasn't even in the series.
Yeah. Well, it's episode 3 has a throwaway line about it at the beginning.
Yeah, man. Like it is, and they had to like make a recap about what like happened in the manga, I guess,
Mhm.
and had made it like a silent film. And that's
That bit's
fun, I
really
guess.
fun.
Like it is kind of very artful how this adaptation did this kind of by accident, basically just out of necessity or something. I don't think that was the plan all along. It's just a really fun thing that happens because of some creative changes they made at the start. So Yoki not being in the early episodes makes it, and especially if you know the manga, you have this you can have this thought that I did where you go like, yeah, it's kind of metatextually funny that they didn't adapt that shit. But moving on from that quaint little idea, they introduced that Kimberly's men that he brought with himself are chimeras, like
Yeah.
I guess perfect chimeras, ones that can change between like bestial forms and normal human looks.
Mhm. Which we
And
see that I guess they kept Tucker employed because it was funny because like we see that they've had this for a while since Greed's friends were all like that too.
true, true. That's when I wrote my notes, I kind of forgot about Greed's guys, but yeah, right, that existed for a while. Because I was wondering if the chimeras, the perfect chimeras, were a thing that the government could just produce for a long time now, and Nina's fate wasn't even any progress of any kind in the field. Um, or if the research of Joe Tucker like contributed to what we see here, but no, yeah, got those. So it was completely senseless. It's not like the alternative would have made it better or anything, but it's just both of these are kind of not fun to think about, like both ideas.
I also
And
think. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, I
uh,
thought you were finished. Go ahead. Yeah.
um, I guess Shao Tucker. I suppose they just have him in their like yeah, you said because it's funny, but I guess they just keep alchemists doing some shit like that to, I guess, maybe employ them when they like show them the real stuff when they get to a certain like level, um
Yeah.
something.
On the topic of Show Tucker, I do think this does add some credence to what Scar was saying about like them just experimenting on his daughter instead of like trying to cure her.
Yeah, yeah, it's man. That's heavy stuff, definitely. It's uh it's obviously memed to shit the whole episode by now, but ooh, um
Didn't Scar know that the Amestris government was bad?
yeah. How did he get that? Did he read the manga or something? Ah, but they fight Scar because Scar is um like they are seeking him out specifically. Kimberly and Ed and Al, because Al and Ed's kind of fake going along with Kimberly's idea of, that's probably something we should mention. Kimberly is there to make the blood seal in bricks, basically, and he says, Ed, do your fucking job as the alchemist and do it. And he is using the Philosopher's Stone as a bargaining chip, basically, saying, "Here, I'm gonna give you this thing if you do it." And Ed is kind of like saying, "Yeah, okay, I'll do it." But Al knows that's nonsense because they already said that they're not gonna do that. And they also spill the beans to Winry to tell her she's a hostage right now.
Sorry, hold on a
And
sec. Was this before or after Raven was murdered? We may have forgotten
This is
that.
well
we
after.
may have forgotten that
Yeah.
that Armstrong murdered Raven. This is the problem with going over my notes exclusively because
This is why I need to take notes too.
I what I noted down is just like
I mean,
thoughts I got
I'm just
and
kind
just
of assuming that
confused.
if someone's watching along, I hope they've seen the show because this is a horrible substitute for it otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's still good to to say uh, Mayor Armstrong murders the hell out of Raven.
Mayor,
No, fuck, wrong rank.
general,
It was General Armstrong, right?
It was
yeah,
Yeah,
Brigadier General, was it? I don't.
brigadier
Brigadier General
general, yeah.
Armstrong. Yeah, right. Uh, I have been
Or
confusing that
was it
for the whole
Lieutenant
stream, I think.
General? I don't remember. It was something general.
God.
I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Anyway, I think it's Brigadier General. Basically, she slices him open with a sword and puts him in a puddle of cement that they use to seal up the hole that they that Sloth made, and so he was never seen again. And then they go like, hey Kimberly, have you seen Raven anywhere? Going off alone in the fortress is kind of a bad idea. He could be like something bad might happen to him. And Kimberly is like, holy shit, that's great. I get free reign
Yeah,
now.
and Kimberly's like, oh, don't worry, I'm far more evil. Thanks.
and so Kimberly is in charge of the whole thing now. And he's out there with Ed and Al and some Briggs people and his camera guys hunting for Scar. And this is because Ed actually wants to um, meet May again to learn alchemy stuff. And they meet May and Dr. Marco, and they have a talk. They catch up. They talk about how the country is ontologically evil and stuff, and what's going on. Yoki is doing his thing and talking about taking revenge or whatever, and they are like, I do not know who you are, and then Chimeras meet Scar and fight Scar, and the Elric brothers go in there and say, how can we use this to our advantage? And say, oh, these are monsters. I am scared. I am now going to beat you guys. And they proceed to do just that. And after taking out and knocking unconscious the Chimeras, they fight Scar again. And this is a good bit of Ed, who we kind of forgot to mention the automail part, but fret not, we can just do that now. In the north, it's cold. It's cold as hell. And
This is
automail,
true. I'm always saying this.
yeah, and automail is made of metal, and it's attached to you,
Yeah.
and you
And if you've
will,
ever, as a dumb 7-year-old, kissed a pole on a dare out before class starts and then ripped off your lips when you pulled back, you recognize how that may cause problems.
yeah. Automail in the north sucks. You have to make specialized automail that they make in bricks, for example, and wear that one. And you have to like it has to be a special alloy. You gotta do special like special oil for that. You can't be out in the cold for too long still. And Ed got that mate when Winry came to Bricks, and now his automail is a different chemical composition than before. And he has experience with this because he was the introduction to the Briggs crew was was a buccaneer who also has an automail fighting them because he was expecting them to be spies or something. And Ed tries to wreck his automail and it doesn't work because that thing's not made of iron. This knowledge that he has acquired in a battle against him from an enemy, he now uses to his own advantage, which is a very common thing he does, which is a very cool trait. Because he uses his arm to basically recklessly attack Scar, because Scar expects that he will just be able to blow it the hell up again. But the chemical composition changed in the arm. It's not the same thing anymore, and so he cannot actually deconstruct it anymore. So
Which makes me realize, damn, Scar's power is a much more of a pain in the ass than I initially thought. If he's got to be figuring out the chemical composition of each thing he's breaking, there's a bit later on where they fight a pair of chimeras where one of them shoots quills and the other he has the Jar Jar Binks from that one Mon Calamari episode ability to spit a booger on you that sticks you to the place.
Yeah.
And he does that to trap Scar, and he uses it on Ed later, and Ed explains well, obviously spit is mostly water, so there will be a bit left over, but if I just target water, I'll get all of it off me immediately, and Scar looks really mad because he didn't figure it out.
Yes, exactly.
What could this mysterious liquid's primary consist of?
Yeah, and that's right. I was kind of wondering how Scar didn't figure that out, but
is he stupid? Oh look, he didn't take chemistry classes. He's I'm more surprised. Damn, he's really good at this for a warrior monk.
Yeah, it's kind of it's already kind of a lot that he can.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I would not be able to keep up with having to know the chemical, consistent or the chemical makeup of all the things I break. And I feel like I got a better chemistry education than priests in 1910. Then again, his brother probably had good notes on it.
Yeah, definitely. That's probably the reason. Yeah.
Or maybe that's why he can't use it on it. Is he only knows iron and flesh. He's memorized those two things.
Yeah. The fact of the matter is, the alloy of the new Automail isn't something that Scar knows immediately how to explode. So they have a immediate advantage in the fight. And then Minri comes in. Scar hesitates for a moment, and the Elrics use that to fixate him with rebar stuff on a piece of building.
Yeah, to which he presumably goes, shit, it's an alloy. How do I get out of this?
And then they go in, the other people from the Bricks crew come in, and they get a little scene where they talk, and Vinri is going up to him and asking him, "Why did you kill my parents?" And he says that anything he could say would just be an excuse, basically, and nothing could change the fact that he did that shit. And then the episode has an interesting deviation from the manga, because in the manga, the scene plays out in completion, just the whole thing from start to finish. In the anime, they have they have a cliffhanger happen there, because they cut to a future point in time where something blows up. Ed is running out of the smoke and running up to Kimberly and saying, "You idiot! How did you lose track of Rinri? Gar has her now." And then it shows a shot of Gar carrying an apparently unconscious Rinri. And that's the note this ends on. With the context to how that happened getting fed to us in a later.
Are you guys aware there's like an alternate version of that where like Winry and Scar kind of reverse, so it's like her carrying him instead?
What?
I
What
gotta
do you
find.
mean?
I actually gotta find that. It's like really. It's like a blooper or something.
I'm not familiar with that. That's fun.
I'll try and find it after and then link in the description. Yeah, I don't think there's anything left to go over. Is there anything else like you want to say?
I not really. It's just
Really, as the two protagonists of this series, my good personal friends Roy Mustang and Risa Hawkeye have been absent for a few episodes.
yeah. Um yes, that's kind of the extent of it. It's a very strong batch of episodes.
Yeah.
Very does a lot for world building, for character work, for advancing plots, and it's gives a lot of stuff to think about in terms of just questions of ethics and what it like means to atone, or like what redemption can look like even. And it's just great in just many ways that this show and this manga is as just working as a story in general. It's a strong representative of the strength of this entire story, I think. That's especially the Ishwal part is I think, like I said, the manga chapters are probably just the strongest batch of chapters in sequence that you get in the manga. And in the anime, even though they cut a lot of the details, they still retained much of the essence of what this is about. And I really appreciate it. And I'm very glad I could watch this as a kid and rewatch it now and talk about it. It's very, very fun to think about and bring out there.
Yeah. I think that's about it for today. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll do another one of these relatively soon. Subscribe, follow both of these dorks on Twitter as well as me. Goodbye.